The Golden State Warriors continue to be a dominant force in the league, having been able to keep their run as a top team in the NBA going for over half a decade now, with only a couple of years lost due to injuries along the way. But those lost years could be the silver lining that allows this Warriors team to extend their dominance even further. They're setting themselves up for the next iteration of this team with some of their young talent acquired through smart trades and making the most out of the draft picks that they had. One of the players that they managed to pick up along the way is Jonathan Kuminga. He's had some really nice performances lately, yet he wasn't selected for the NBA Rising Stars game in the All-Star Weekend showcases, which spawned a lot of debate over the potential of Jonathan Kuminga. While at a glance, you may look at his raw box score stats and think, why on earth should I be impressed by a guy averaging 6.8 points per game? The truth is, you have to dig a little deeper because there's more to Jonathan Kuminga than meets the eye. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to break down what makes Jonathan Kuminga a really intriguing long-term piece, why he should be getting more playing time, and what I see his role being for the Golden State Warriors as this team slowly enters a new chapter of their history. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Let's get right into it. So Jonathan Kuminga ended up in Golden State when he was selected with the 7th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Kuminga had a substantial level of hype heading into the draft. Many mock drafts placed him solidly in the top 10, and a lot of them accurately predicted that the Warriors would use their 7th overall pick to acquire him. There was a resounding philosophy with this Warriors pick. If you're not going to use that pick in a trade to try and upgrade the roster around Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and a soon returning Klay Thompson, then you should use that pick on somebody with high upside. And that is exactly what the Warriors did. Kuminga is a player with no shortage of upside. He's a 6'7", 220-pound behemoth. He's the definition of a freak athlete. Unlimited bounce, strength, great body control, everything that you want from a guy with the potential to blossom into an eventual star. Now, this isn't to say that Kuminga was simply a raw prospect. It was recognized by scouts that he possessed some solid ball handling ability with some shot creation potential to go along with it. One of the biggest draws with Kuminga was his finishing ability. He's just got such a big body that he was able to body just about anybody to get to the rim and finish over defenders. From a defensive point of view as well, there was a lot of excitement about what he could contribute on that end of the floor, with many thinking that he could eventually develop into an elite defender. He was able to move quick for his size, and he had the physical assets to be able to defend 1 through 4. Really, the biggest question with Kuminga was his shooting and scoring ability. Would he be able to eventually develop into a consistent jump shooter? He only shot 24.6% from deep during his first year in the G League, so that was a pretty massive question mark with him. So all of these things being considered, what has he looked like so far? Is there still reason for Kuminga to be considered a prospect with all-star upside? Do the Warriors have a player that can eventually step into the limelight as a star as Steph Curry, Draymond, and Klay all begin to enter the later years of their careers? An assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors said this about Kuminga: "The best growth is slow growth. The chance for Kuminga to be an all-star is a real one." That's some pretty high praise about a 19-year-old. One thing I need to say right off the bat, there is no shortage of effort from Kuminga, which is one of my favorite things about him. He might make mistakes, he might not always knock down his shots, but he always gives effort, which in my opinion is the most important thing that you want from a rookie. Regardless of what work needs to be done, as long as they're willing to put in the time and the effort necessary to become the player that they're capable of, the rest will come. He's also done a good job of quelling some of the concerns that scouts and analysts had about him. He's not shooting horribly from beyond the arc, especially for a rookie. 32.4% doesn't really sound amazing, but he's shooting better than he was in the G League. He's also shooting a lot better than some of the guys who were picked over him from beyond the arc. Granted, he's primarily been a catch and shoot guy and a cutter and driver when he's inside the arc. But there's a foundation that can certainly be improved on, and I'd imagine playing alongside two of the greatest shooters of all time is certainly going to help. The part of his game that I've loved though is how he gets the ball on the perimeter and uses his explosiveness and quick first step to get to the rim. He's been beating guys off the dribble and getting to the rim with ease. He's been so good at the rim that he's shooting a really solid 75%. That alone should have Warriors fans really excited. He's also backing down guys with relative ease. Like I said earlier, he's a monster of a human. He uses every one of those 220 pounds to back guys down, using his drop steps and solid footwork to get the right look at the rim. This is the kind of play that gives me confidence he's got a really high upside as a finisher. He has this quick first step, he gets into the paint, spins, pump fakes, and then muscles his way to the basket. And it may not seem like much, but that's big boy toughness. He's got confidence around the basket, which is something that you really like to see. He's not blowing easy layups just from nerves. He's starting to get a feel for what he is and isn't capable of, and instead of forcing himself to the basket right up close, he's being sure to know when to stop, slow down a little bit, and use more finesse to get a better look at the rim. He's time and time again flashed his potential, particularly in games where he's been given an opportunity to show it. So far this season, in games where Kuminga has been given 15 or more minutes per game, he's averaging 13.5 points and 4.2 rebounds per game on 62% true shooting. Those numbers don't exactly jump off the page, but that would put him top 6 in scoring amongst this year's rookies, and it's some of the best efficiency from any rookie that's scoring more than 13 points per game. Again, only a 15-game sample size, so that needs to be taken into consideration, but he's also putting that up in only 21.7 minutes per game in those 15 games. Per 36 minutes, those numbers come out to 22.4 points and 7 rebounds. That's really good. Production doesn't always perfectly translate to per 36 minutes stats, but regardless, it reinforces the idea that Kuminga has a lot more in his tank when he has the opportunity to show it. And as far as his defense goes, there's a ton to like. He's good at applying pressure to primary ball handlers. He's managed to play good defense on some pretty elite scorers this year. It's entirely possible for Kuminga to become an elite defender with time. So is it realistic to think that Kuminga, all of these things being taken into consideration, can become an all-star caliber player? Yes, absolutely. This is a 19-year-old that we're talking about. He is one of the youngest players from his draft class. The fact that he's already this good makes me even more confident that he can develop into an all-star. He's gotten admiration from Draymond Green for his defensive ability, so that area of his game is no concern to me. His scoring is going to come with time and feel and reps and practice. I truly do think that his time in the G League has helped him out a lot, and he's continuing to build on what he's capable of on a game-to-game basis. He's had multiple 20-point games this season. He's shown us everything that he's capable of. It's not gonna happen overnight, but to say that Kuminga can become an all-star isn't even remotely a hot take. So what do you think of Jonathan Kuminga so far this season? Do you think that he has all-star potential? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and as always, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video, because that's the #1 way to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and get this video recommended to more people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.